Honestly, my friends, seeing the crazy Lindenberg and Farias and Gleise Hoffman, the Lindinho couple, lover of Odebrecht, that's her nickname, and Lindinho from Odebrecht on the list, right? Completely crazy. We get an idea, a real idea of how things are happening in there. Look, it takes a lot of money from that Quest thing, a lot of cash, just to be able to hide the embarrassment they're going through. Yesterday, in that government defeat, the guy wanted to shove more taxes onto the people. Congress reacted, it didn't work out. But look, it was a moment of redemption. The guys were desperate, but insane. He completely freaked out. I'll show you all the reactions. Hit that like button and join our family. We'll keep you updated from now on. Check this out. First, it was Gleise. After the defeat, Plano News' headline says it all, right? Gleise criticizes the rich after the government's defeat in the House. Guys, the way these people talk. These people, when I say people, you know it's so harmful, so harmful, so harmful. Do you know anyone richer than them? Richer than Gleise, than Lindenberg, than Lula. Gleise said it became clear that a portion of the population does not accept having their privileges touched. That's really shameless, isn't it? That's really shameless. Gleise directed the attack at what she called a very wealthy portion of the country. She didn't mention Congress, the party, or politicians at any moment. See how things are here? The richest are the ones defending things against themselves, but those things don't affect them. They fall on that part of the population that works, who make things happen. Those. So we don't say what we really want to say? They're always trying to get in the way. Those who truly generate wealth here pay their salaries, but have never started anything themselves. When did Gleise or Lindenberg Farias ever have a business? But look, this desperate crowd is a sign of everything we talk about here every day. They're finished. If Congress, which is the mirror of the people, is... Sometimes we say, right, wow, but the politician, but guys, they're elected somehow. In an ideal world, it would be that this thing about voting for a party would be totally absurd, which I think is absurd. The person with the most votes should get in, right? But no, look at that. Today, it became clear that the small, very wealthy portion of the country does not allow their privileges to be touched. You're not admitting it, right, Gleise? They don't want to pay taxes like most citizens. And they don't want the government to have, look at what she says here. And they don't want the government to have resources to invest in policies for the people. Luxury vacations for Yanja forever. Drinks in a banquet at Babesco for this guy who produces nothing. Constant spending. The guy is buying support from his backers in every way. Everyone can see it. To see if he can win the election next year. And he won't win. There's a huge manipulation going on that we're seeing, obviously led by Globo. She ends it. Whoever voted in the chamber to overturn the member of parliament that taxed the super rich voted against the country and the people, she said on social media. So we're against the people, right? We're not parliamentarians. We're against all of that. Taxing the richest. Lula had the nerve. In that vote that happened yesterday, he wanted to lower the tax for the betting companies. It caught on all over the country, right? Those sites, online betting apps. From 18%, he wanted to lower it to 12% just for the betting companies. Companies that generate wealth, generate jobs, he wanted to tax them, guys. What a nasty guy. But the worst of all, Gleise, is normal. This one was here in tears, truly crying. Look here, see? Lindenberg panics over Lula's huge defeat. This guy here called it childish for the lawmakers to remove the provisional measure from the agenda, which ended up expiring, right? Yesterday's vote ended with 250 votes in favor of the removal and 193 against. The statement was made right after the result in the plenary. Outraged by the outcome, Lindenberg said that the opposition shot themselves in the foot and that there will be a popular reaction. Because immediately, what these nefarious people did was to call on the Supreme Court, call on Zanin, who pulled out a measure there and so on, to be able to give it here. Look, he was desperate.
What the government will have to do is cut. Cut from where? Cut from education, cut from health, cut from social programs. With the PP.
Look at what the Shakrit here from Globo says. Leader, leader, leader. Man, I'm just being sarcastic.
Health.
Look.
Cutting social programs.
Leader, leader. Watch your tone, man. You know that camaraderie among those communists.
With PP, with Union Brazil, and with the agro crowd, that group sat at the table, and they actually broke the agreement again. I remember that this IOF discussion had that famous meeting on Sunday, which I attended. Everyone left together with Fernando Haddad to say it was a historic meeting. They broke the agreement right there. They scrapped the IOF. That was the whole crisis we went through. So I want to say the following to you all right here. Our commitment to the agreement from Rapporteur Zaratinho was based on an understanding. Since the agreement wasn't upheld, what we support is the government's original proposal. We're having a problem here with the vote counting. Because the governor of São Paulo...
Look, now it's Tarcísio, because Tarcísio called some representatives to vote against this absurdity. That's going to finish sinking the country. But they've already handled things in the Supreme Court. But Tarcísio, as a leader, right, of the people, right? The governor of São Paulo called, and the guys here got really upset.
He's directly joining the negotiations in Parliament. Now I saw an interview with the PL leader Sostres saying that he's getting 10 more votes. The Congressman, Senator Ciro Nogueira, who is the president of the PP, and Antonio Rueda as well. So they grouped together as if they were anticipating the 2026 race. I think that's a complete mistake, and I want to call attention to it. I'm saying this, you see, Andre, even to convince my esteemed colleagues here.
Look how things are. Let me explain it to you all. He gave this interview before the voting process took place, which they lost. Globo put him on live to try to convince the parliament members to tax the people more. Things in this country are so absurd, and we always say that what's right has become wrong and what's wrong is now right. The guys are thinking, and they want to convince us that Lula is popular because he taxes the people. Why? Every month it's 1 or 2 new taxes that we've never seen before. This place has always been known as the country of taxes, ever since I can remember. But never in Brazilian history have so many taxes been charged. This has never existed. And they want to convince us through Quest, data folha. So Globo can say, no, look, it was in Quest. Quest said it. That the more Lula taxes the people, the more popular he will become. And that the only president who took taxes away from the people. The people are against him, which is Bolsonaro, obviously. Look at the level of manipulation of what they want us to believe. The guy who makes coffee cost $40, that one, we just love him. We're like, wow. He's the best in the world. For me, he's out of this world. The other one where you used to pay $12 for the same coffee, I'm talking about Melita here. Reference, the most expensive one? Yeah, this one. People won't like him because he used to keep the supermarket products, the basic food basket and all, meat, everything cheaper, more affordable. You're going to like the guy who takes your money, steals from you, and you won't like the guy who saves your money, man. When we say theft, we mean theft. He has a history of theft. He has a record. He hasn't been cleared. It was a maneuver, and everyone knows. The crimes are there. The crimes are there because they completely covered it up. Right? Through all this manipulation, this parliamentary inquiry commission that's happening, and you're seeing all these big sharks getting caught, it's the guy's brother, everything. Ask Andrea Sade. Share what happened? That's not the case, right? Also, they suffered another defeat. I even showed this here, which really left the guy, Nelson, to the attacks there, pretty much. Eduardo Bolsonaro will be able, at least for now, to stay in the United States while being a federal congressman.
Guys, this is ridiculous. In the Chamber's Ethics Council, the rapporteur for Eduardo Bolsonaro's case is Congressman Marcelo Freitas. I had already asked for him to stop being the rapporteur because he's not impartial. He requested the case to be closed. Can you believe it?
He requested the dismissal of the impeachment process against Eduardo Bolsonaro.
After all the crimes, after attacking national sovereignty.
Man, isn't it outrageous? What crimes, paleface? What crimes? They've always been out there. It's the temporary power of Alexandre de Moraes that makes these guys do these absurd things. The Attorney General of the Lindenberg Farias government. You're kidding, right? Are you kidding? We have to thank God. Thank God that Eduardo Bolsonaro, my friends, is over there in the United States. Thank God that this guy is there. Imagine how Brazil's situation would be today without Eduardo. That's a fact. You saw the poll and I just posted the video. Eduardo Bolsonaro surpassed Lula according to GERB, which is a more impartial research institute than... We can't say any of them are completely impartial, but it has much more credibility than those funded by Globo. Just look at how they operate. The government funds Globo, which hires a research company that pays Quast. And we're supposed to believe it. Share this video, hit like to boost engagement, and join our family. I'll be back soon. More news and info on the Paise Filhos channel.